Hi, I'm Audrey Moran, and this is my project on the Gallipoli Campaign for my world history class. So the Gallipoli Campaign was a battle that took place during World War I. It started February 16, 1915, and ended January 9, 1916. So, of course, as we know in World War I, there's the Allies and the Central Powers. So in this little battle, there's multiple battles in the Gallipoli Campaign. But on this side, there's Australia, France, New Zealand, and the United Kingdom. And then, of course, there's the Central Powers, who were the Ottomans and Turkey, the country, that participated in all the battles that were in the Gallipoli Campaign. But anyways, the campaign took place in Dardanelles, Turkey, which was a passage that connected the Arabian Sea to the Sea of Marmara. And if you do search up, if you like to do your own research, this name of the Gallipoli Campaign can also be known as the Battle of Dardanelles Campaign. So some background info on this campaign. The whole point of the battle was the Allies trying to gain control of a sea route. This sea route was very important to Europe and to the Allies to get connected to Russia. Because if they got connected to Russia, they can both take down Turkey and eliminate them from the war. And it will be also much easier to gain resources from Russia to their possession. So on February 1915, the first naval attack happened in Dardanelles Straits by the Allies' battleship. Even though the attempt failed, this is what started the campaign and many battles to come. Of course, the Allies were not that successful, but we'll talk more about that in the later slides. So, this is our first pictures, of course. On the left side, here's a map I thought that best represented of what was going on, especially on the right. Because on the right, you can see Turkey, Dardanelles, Gallipoli Peninsula, which is very important. You can see where the British forces and the Allies forces were coming into the peninsula and Dardanelles and what they were fighting for. And then on the other side of the Turkey, you can see the Black Sea and how easy it would be to transport the supplies to Russia or from Russia, and how important this was for the Allies to get control of that land. And then on the right was just a picture of the campaign, not live action, but like in action photo. The way to Dardanelles. In March, the Allies attempted to take the Turks again, but the water was heavily mined that destroyed the area. So they lost a lot of men during that and a lot of supplies. And they had to regroup, so they retreated in a way, and they tried again from April 1915 till January 1916. So at that time, during April through probably mid-October, they were just trying to find a way to get into Dardanelles. But of course, the Turks had an upper hand with supplies and knowing the land. So they had a lot of more knowledge, more than the Allies did. But so the battle lasted until the evacuation of Cape Helles. So during this war, there was a lot of casualties that happened, because even though the battle was about gaining land, they did lose a lot of people during this war and a lot of supplies. So once the casualties started building up, they couldn't get many men out there anymore in the field. So the Allies requested for 95,000 more reinforcements and was denied, and only giving half or third of that, 95,000, which would have helped them a lot, but they, of course, that was taking a big impact on the resources. So during October, there was a talk about evacuating the troops from the Gallipoli Peninsula. So it was almost like an evacuation to stop causing people's lives just for this battle. And Kitcher, which was like one of the generals, went to visit the troops and the battleground and saw that that was the right choice to evacuate the remaining 105,000 soldiers. And to put in perspective, I think in the beginning of the battle, I believe, if my sources are correct, that they have 450,000 soldiers, and now they're only saving the 105,000 soldiers that were left. So the Turks for the win. On December 7th, the evacuation was finally approved by Britain's government, but wasn't put into place till like late January. Well, so from that time, December 7th till January 9th, they were trying to get all their troops evacuated from that campaign. And officially, January 9th, 1916, all the troops were evacuated and that campaign was over. The Turks/Ottoman Empire won, but at what cost? Over 161,828 Ottoman's men were killed, wounded, or missing. This battle was the Turks' greatest victory in World War I, but from the loss of the war, the British Winston Churchill got demoted, and Allies suffered a great loss in the battle and in men, because the Allies lost about 187,959 men killed or wounded, which I would say is a lot of men, especially starting with 450,000 to about 200,000 killed. More than half of those men were either killed or wounded. So that puts it in perspective. But a lot of results did come from this, especially between Australia and New Zealand. There's a national day now after this war, that because there's a lot of men killed that were Australian and New Zealand. But yeah, so this is the Battle of Campaigns. Here are my resources if you do want to do your own research or decide to see. But yeah, so thank you.